platform that was built in just a couple of days and over the course of just 2 weeks was rolled out by over 3,000 organizations in over 60 countries, serving over 100,000 users to allow communication in this time of crisis. Just one example of the ability to very quickly react to the unexpected and the unpredictable. And part of what I think makes this new world that we're in with cloud delivered services and applications and platforms special is that it does permit this kind of just incredible agility, the ability to react to change very, very quickly. The second thing is, we are relaxing some of the sort of the uptake requirements for Dynamics 365 as we roll out this next wave. In the resources section beneath this video, you can see on the page a link to a blog post that lays out in detail, some of the deprecated features that we were planning to turn off in the near term that we're now relaxing and allowing to continue to operate for some time, giving you the ability to respond at a point that makes the most sense for you. And we've relaxed the sort of the uptake requirements on taking these new capabilities and features, giving you more flexibility to respond as your business needs sort of mandate you to respond. So for all those details, please check out that blog post highlighted below. We're going to spend the next 90 minutes or so looking deeply at the capabilities of Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform as we've created them, or the new capabilities in this Wave 1 Release 2020. We're going to spend a bunch of time on Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. But before we get to that, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the strategy all up and what we think makes Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform unique, and in the context of some of our customers. Northwell Health is an example of an organization that has really embraced the Power Platform, Dynamics 365. They're one of the nation's largest healthcare systems, serving a population of about 11 million patients in the greater New York metropolitan area. A spectrum of services across 23 hospitals, including children's hospitals, behavioral health centers, over 600 outpatient facilities, 68,000 employees, and nearly 4,000 doctors. And so a very, very large-scale healthcare organization that has been able to transform their business in the way that they care for their patients and operate their facilities, leveraging the platform. Patient 360 is one example of an application they built that has enabled them to transform from sort of a traditional fee-for-service model to a value-based care model, where they're caring for patients over the lifetime of their relationship with that patient, taking care of them after they leave the hospital, getting a 360-degree view of the patient over the course of the relationship, and really transforming the care model all up. One of the other sort of operational processes that they've been able to impact and improve is the simplification of their workflow on doing daily interdisciplinary rounds with patients. They've built Dynamics 365 and Power Apps atop the common data service that allows them to engage with patients, communicate across the care team, really understand exactly what the state is of each patient at each moment in time, and help make decisions about whether to alter services or to release the patient at the appropriate time, leveraging AI capabilities, leveraging our bot capabilities. And so a sort of a deep leverage of the platform, impacting both customer care and the way that they engage their customers or patients, and the way that they operate their facility on a day-in, day-out basis. UNICEF is another example of a nonprofit organization that serves the children of the world. And one of their primary business processes is engaging with donors to ensure that they have the funding to go do the great work that they do globally. They're leveraging Dynamics 365 Customer Insights to allow them to really understand their donors, to engage with them, again, in a holistic way, and to keep them apprised of how their money and their donations are being used to care for children the world over. Let's take a quick look at a video that talks specifically about how UNICEF is using Customer Insights.
UNICEF is the UN Emergency Fund for Children. We stand for children's rights and we save their lives. We are doing programs to get them to school, vaccinate them, give them access to water and nutrition. We need funds to do all these programs. We get funds via governments, private individuals, major donors and corporates. One of the biggest challenges is changing our organizations and adapt to the new world, the digital world. Our donors are changing. With time, we see the expectations of our donor grow. Even so, with the involvement from them in our projects. They want to know how we spend the money, what were the results of the programs, where we were successful or not. And I think that's a very good way of engaging them. We want to transform donors to real lifetime supporters of UNICEF.
Our supporters expect from us that we spend our money very wisely, that we invest very efficiently. And therefore, we came to Microsoft to develop a world standard solution that supports the entire NGO sector.
In order to increase our impact, it's clear that we need more funds. Customer Insights really helps us to segment the right audiences, to focus on them, to engage them in a very relevant way, and to retain them.
We have 60 million records. These data sources contain all the history we have. We don't know what kind of segmentations and information we want to add in the future. With Customer Insight, we have the possibility to handle more data than we have. We are more future-proof because it's adaptable, flexible, and gives us the possibility to innovate on things we don't know yet.
We base our actions on the data that we acquire from the behavior of the donors. We build new propositions, we create new content that is relevant for them, and it's really helpful to get a 360-degree view. The added value comes with the integration of Customer Insights with the Dynamics 365 applications. Dynamics 365 for marketing really helps us run and test campaigns at scale.
We are able to automate campaigns so that we can shift from large campaigns to micro-targeted campaigns.
We've been looking for a solution that is based on one common data model, which means that we have all data stored in one place, and that consists of components, supports all elements of our business, be it sales and marketing, finance, operations, all of it. Microsoft helps us leverage the full power of the Microsoft stack, be it Microsoft Azure, Power Platform including Power BI and the Power Apps, Dynamics 365 for both CRM and ERP processes, and we are connecting all this internal and external data together with Customer Insights.
Microsoft is a great partner. Using their experience, their knowledge, their expertise gives us the wings to fly, enabling us in our mission to save lives and help children in the world.
Really enjoy that story, and it's great to see Dynamics 365 being used in such an important way. And it's not just UNICEF or Northwell Health. You know, one of the things that we're very proud of is the growth in Dynamics 365 use across the globe and across just about every industry. It's really a service that has exploded over the last several years. And today we're fortunate to count 97% of the Fortune 500 as users of the Power Platform, 54% of the Fortune 500 now using Dynamics 365, and hundreds of thousands of other organizations across the globe in every country on every continent leveraging Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform to digitally transform their most important business processes, whether engaging customers and delivering personalized experiences or operating with more efficacy and efficiency. So before we get into the details of sort of what's new with Wave 1, let's talk about the change that's occurring in business applications all up. You know, the reality is business applications really haven't changed fundamentally, ever. Here I'm looking at a call center for TWA Airlines. If you were to go stand in that room in 1970 and look at the application being used to do customer service, and you were to pick a person up in that room and move them to 1990 and then 2010 and put them in front of customer service applications in those subsequent decades, they would see for all practical purposes the same application, forms over data. Customer calls in, the application gets open, someone starts typing into a case record in a form on the screen, the information that they're taking from the customer, that gets saved off in a relational database. That ends up being now used to maybe track that the customer's case was worked to a resolution or to run reports, but very much as sort of a forms first, forms over data model, and very reactive. You know, you think about those business processes, and it's sort of waiting for something bad to happen. Let's take another example. Let's say that you're a capital equipment manufacturer and you're producing a piece of factory equipment that a manufacturing customer may use. They run into a problem, that piece of equipment goes down, the line is shut down, and so it's an emergency at the customer. So they pick up the phone, they call the service center, whether it's internal at the manufacturer or to you as a provider of the capital equipment. Again, that application gets opened up, information gets logged in, and the emergency site visit gets scheduled. Someone goes and gets the production line back up and running. Super reactive. And this business process has been the same one we've used decade after decade after decade. But it's really the only thing we could do. There was no other way. And the use of technology in this case was really just sort of automation of what were centuries old business processes where we stood ready to react to events that our customers may experience or that our workers may experience in the course of any given day. Something, though, is fundamentally changing. For the first time ever, there's a fundamental change occurring, and that change is that data is increasingly coming out of everything. It's coming out of every field, every hospital room, every operating room, every engine, every thermostat, every car, everything is increasingly creating data. And that data allows us to take this reactive process that we previously executed and turn it into a proactive process, literally to turn it upside down. You think about what's now happening. That piece of factory equipment that I delivered to the customer is now wired up with sensors, embedded with software, connected to the internet, and sort of sending telemetry about every movement, every oil and hydraulic pressure, every time a piece of metal is bent, everything is sort of information flowing from that equipment. Data is coming first, not because someone typed it into a form, but because things now are emitting this information. That information can now flow into, for example, an anomaly detection model in the cloud. That anomaly detection model can predict that there is a change or a problem that is about to occur. Not that it has occurred, but predicting that there's a problem that's imminent. That can lead to a proactive maintenance call. That can lead to the customer never actually experiencing that production line down scenario. So a fundamental shift in what is possible as a result of sort of the technology environment that we're living in now. And it means that applications need to be fundamentally different. Instead of forms leading to data, leading to reports, it's data leading to predictions, leading to proactive, intelligent action. Now, we've got this notion called the digital feedback loop. It's a framework for thinking about this opportunity. And those organizations that are able to bring all of this data together, and it comes from every part of the business, from customers, products, people, assets, every corner of your business is increasingly observable. Your customers are using your products and services. They're engaging with your digital properties. Your people are updating their LinkedIn profiles, holding Teams meetings, talking from their homes like I'm doing right now. Your assets are increasingly wired up. Bringing all of this data together and bringing it together in a unified and harmonized way, because at the end of the day, your people are using your assets to deliver products and services to your customers. All of this is interrelated. You can't separate any one of these pieces and have the complete picture. So bringing that data together allows you to then deeply understand your customers, your product, your people, your assets. And from that position of understanding, you can now go intelligently engage your customers, predict their needs and wants, recommend to them things that are relevant to them, personalize those interactions. And that same sort of process works across the entirety of this thing that we call the digital feedback loop. And so Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform and the rest of the Microsoft Cloud have been built specifically to make it possible to embrace this reality, to pull data together, to create intelligence, and then to go intelligently engage with customers and to operate your business processes more effectively. Now, I want to shift now to a bit of a different frame that really sort of takes it down to the product level and shows you how this is all constructed. So, we all have sort of legacy applications, CRM, ERP. We've had CRM systems for decades. I had Siebel, I used Salesforce. I mean, CRM has existed for a very long time, as has ERP, and I've never engaged with a customer that doesn't have at least one of these systems in production. And if it's a meaningfully large organization, multinational, you're going to have dozens of these systems in place. And if you ever get to the point where you think you're homogeneous, that next acquisition that you do is going to add yet one more sort of last generation application into your environment. And so it's critically important that we can embrace these legacy systems and add value to them without requiring you to just rip and replace them. And the Power Platform is sort of the first opportunity to embrace what you have, the ability to work with your existing CRM and ERP and other systems, whatever you have in the organization. We've got hundreds of connectors that allow you to reach out, engage with those systems and their data, and to create new applications, to orchestrate processes that span all of those systems, to put a modern face, a mobile face, a virtual agent face on those systems, again, without requiring you to rip and replace. And so this ability to go on the journey, regardless of where you are and what systems you have, is facilitated by this approach that we've taken. Now, we also talked about sort of this new world that's being created. You can think of that as a separate but related opportunity. So collecting information, surveys of your customers, your employees, telemetry from the products and services that you're providing to your customers, or from the assets that you're using in your factory or in your service delivery, all the information flowing from those systems, enriched with data from Microsoft and third parties, combined with all of that transactional data from your existing systems, when harmonized and brought together into an environment that permits you to then analyze and deeply understand the state of your business, to predict the needs of customers, to predict where your assets need maintenance or where you have opportunities to improve, and then to use those insights to go drive whatever systems of action you may currently have, even if it's someone else's CRM, ERP system, or whatever that system may be. Now, of course, Dynamics 365 itself also has a family of action applications built to fit into precisely this worldview. So when you are considering replacing or purchasing a new CRM system or ERP system where you want to transform your marketing, sales, service, operations, finance, talent, action processes, and you want it to fit into this broader ecosystem where data comes first and where you've got a platform that allows you to create even more value, we've kind of taken all the integration costs out of that by providing this family of applications that fits in to this broader picture. And so as we go through the rest of the presentation today, we're going to take a look at the more than 400 new capabilities that this team has created over the last 6 months that will deliver starting here in April across both Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. It's a rich and deep set of enhancements centered on this data-first view of the world. And to get us started, Satish Thomas is going to talk about customer insights.
Thank you, James. Today, customer data is coming from a myriad of sources. Every website visit, use of a product, and interaction with a customer service representative creates an observation or generates data. And this data is often siloed across multiple systems, making it difficult to gain a single source of truth. To this end, we introduced Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, Microsoft's customer data platform, just a few months ago, and we're seeing a ton of momentum in market today with hundreds of customers. It is enabling organizations to overcome data silos, understand their customer data, and leverage AI to unlock insights that power personalized and differentiated customer experiences across every channel. And we believe we're leading in the market with our CDP for a few reasons. First of all, companies can get started very quickly and have a fast time to value to move their business forward. Secondly, they're able to unify and enrich all of their customer data in real time and also using a breadth of our pre-built connectors. And thirdly, for the broader platform, it's built on Microsoft's Azure cloud, enabling organizations to run powerful analytics, generate predictive insights, or interact with that data, leveraging Power Platform with no code, and ultimately personalized experience, not only in Dynamics 365 applications, but any third-party business application, be it Adobe, Salesforce, SAP, whatever the customer chooses to use as their system of engagement. So let's take a deeper look at the core capabilities and key enhancements coming available this release. First of all, to help organizations act in real time, we're supporting real-time data ingestion and profile creation. This helps organizations better personalized experiences with up-to-the-moment data. Secondly, organizations can unlock the value of the data by quickly and accurately predicting customer behavior using our out-of-the-box AI templates, such as for churn, customer lifetime value, and next best action recommendations. Thirdly, gain the most comprehensive view of your customers. We're making it even easier for organizations to capture more first-party, high-intent customer data, such as actual product and service usage, voice of the customer, sentiment, as well as data enrichments from our third-party partners as well. Fourth, unlock all of those powerful insights with limitless analytics. With this release, organizations will be able to build custom AI and ML models using Azure Synapse Analytics to run high-speed analytical processing workloads atop all of their customer data from customer insights and together with their other enterprise data. Now, organizations such as UNICEF, Tivoli Gardens, and AEP Energy are using customer insights today to increase customer retention and to maximize customer lifetime value through deeper and more meaningful engagement. So let's spend the next few minutes to see this from the lens of a customer, Chipotle Mexican Grill, and how they're leveraging customer insights for their organization. Chipotle Mexican Grill is one of the most popular chains of fast casual dining, with over 2,500 locations worldwide. After going through a rigorous and thorough evaluation of CDP vendors, they chose customer insights to create a real-time, up-to-the-moment understanding of their customers to drive proactive and intelligent engagement. Chipotle wanted a solution they could get started and get going very quickly, while also having the option to extend and customize to meet their future growth needs. And then be able to bring in all of their customer data and enrich it in real time, and finally be able to use that single view of the customer to power personalized experiences across channels. Now, before we go into the demo, let me show you an example of what that data-first understanding of a customer truly enables. Firstly, you'll notice here that the customer information that was previously siloed is now unified and can be used to generate insights about that customer. Secondly, you'll notice that the profiles were further enriched with proprietary signals from the Microsoft Graph and third-party sources. And on top of all of that, additional insights can be pulled in, including allowing organizations to see how their customers are interacting with them across their products and services, be it through a website, a mobile phone, or even a connected device. Now, all of this comes together to create the most comprehensive view for each customer, like no other company can. On top of which we can do AI, such as determining engagement or churn score, which we're really excited about. Data is the most crucial part for an effective AI and machine learning model, and our CDP is the ideal place to build and deploy these models on top of. As an addition to the data, all of this is schematized in Microsoft's Common Data Model, CDM. So you can look into the future and understand the future of the relationship with any customer. Let's jump in and show you how this comes to life in a demo. Custom Insights, as you can see, is a SaaS application. And of course, all of the data that you're seeing here is anonymized for demo purposes. Now, Chipotle was able to bring in all of this data, including data from 6 different data sources in this case. Their point of sale transaction, digital transactions, loyalty information, web and mobile usage data, and much more. Now, that's not all. They can also bring in additional data if they choose to, using our pre-built connectors, as you can see here. Once you have all this data and custom insights, these previously siloed customer signals and data sources can be unified to create a comprehensive customer profile, a single source of truth that can then be used to deliver consistent and personalized experiences across any touch point. Think of this as a configuration type experience assisted with recommendations based on AI and machine learning. Furthermore, as you can see here, customer profiles can uniquely then be enriched by incorporating first-party enrichments to bring in audience intelligence for the Microsoft Graph and third-party enrichment. So you'll notice some examples here around brand affinity, interests, and much more. This is one area that we'll be continuously investing into, so expect month-by-month updates for this list here. Now I'm going to switch to the segmentation aspect of customer insights. So here, having a unified customer profile enables Chipotle to create segments that can deliver important insights, such as loyalty members along with their preferences, frequent repeat customers and their satisfaction levels, as well as geographical segments with targeted next best actions. Now, Chipotle is able to activate all of these newly created customer profiles and actionable segments in real time across multiple destinations, using our out-of-the-box connectors for first and third-party export destinations. As you can see here, they're able to take the actionable segments and drive actions across our first-party applications, such as Dynamics 365 for marketing, the Power Platform, or third-party solutions. Chipotle can drive meaningful actions like running dynamic ad campaigns and marketing campaigns to ultimately improve customer engagement and loyalty, and also increase sales per store. We continue to work with Chipotle and many other customers to further enhance customer experiences and drive impactful business outcomes by leveraging the latest product innovations in our April 2020 release wave. One such exciting capability is a support for real-time data ingestion. So for a quick service restaurant, when a customer places an order, that is reflected immediately in the customer profile in real time. This enables restaurants to continuously learn from every interaction of their customers and consistently deliver relevant and personalized experiences. And here's an example where our customer Patty places an order for pickup and is immediately updated in her profile and customer insights. Now let's fast forward to a store associate or a crew member who greets Patty in store and scans her QR code. The crew member can see Patty's complete profile, including her purchase history, in one place on an intuitive and contextual interface that's built in Power Apps. The app prompts the next best action, such as a free delivery for the next order, empowering the crew member to make more informed decisions and get proactive recommendations during the in-person customer interaction. In today's times, with public health concerns, next best action offers such as a no-contact free delivery service is very important to ensure safety of the local communities. Finally, it's not just about what organizations can do with our SaaS application and customer insights, but also about how much they can extend and customize to meet their growing business needs. All of this unified customer data is stored in an Azure data lake that truly enables a no-cliffs extensibility story around all of this. Additionally, by leveraging deep integration with Azure Synapse Analytics, organizations can ingest operations and other streaming data at petabyte scale and thereby develop custom AI and machine learning models and more using Azure Synapse's hyper-scalable and analytical processing capabilities. And then leverage all of that back in customer insights to build an even more comprehensive view of a customer. And with that, thank you for listening in. I'll hand off to Oren to talk about Dynamics 365, marketing, sales, and service.
Thank you, Satish. Hello, everyone. So now let's take a deeper look into what's new in Dynamics 365, customer engagement applications across marketing, sales, and service. As James mentioned in the beginning, we are leading the market in the transformation of the old way of forms over data business apps to the new data-driven business applications. Customer experience for both the B2C and B2B side is the most important thing these days. And with Dynamics 365 apps, we enables you to provide a unified, personalized, and consistent experience for your customers, for your buyers across all the different touch points: marketing, sales, service, commerce, and any other touch point. And to do that, it all starts with better understanding the customers. So we are bringing together all the data points throughout the organization, all the touch points with the customers to better understand the customers, from transactional data coming from your CRM and ERP to interactions coming from Office 365 or from web interactions, connected products that the customers are using, leveraging also IoT, and even understanding what customers are thinking with sending them surveys, leveraging our Forms Pro product. Moreover, you can enrich this data with our LinkedIn offering and other third-party providers. Now that we have all this data unified, we can better understand the customers and create experiences across any channel, across any app, be it a digital experience or be it an agent-based like sales or service experiences. And for that, we also provide AI and MR experiences to really provide outstanding experiences for both B2C and B2B scenario. So let's take a deeper look into what's new in the release we are releasing today. I cannot touch the hundreds of new features that we have, but let's kind of highlight a few of them that are showing this transformation into data-first thinking. First, sales forecasting. Sales forecasting, leveraging all the data that you have in the organization around the customers, running predictive AI on top of that, we can better forecast and enables you to better run the entire process of forecasting. And we even have new amazing user experiences like Kanban that are part of managing the entire process of forecasting. Another new capabilities for sales is our new sales hub, sales acceleration for inside sellers. It's a hub that enables sellers to really focus on the customers. We provide a smart list with who is the customers that you need to contact now, what's the best channels, and then once you interact with the customer, you get again the complete view of that customer with all the activity timeline, all the journey the customer took until that point, coming from sales, marketing, any point of interaction, and leveraging AI, we enable the seller to get next best actions, the next best thing he can recommend for the customers to advance him in the process of the customer journey. If we look into marketing, we have a lot of new capabilities, a new enhanced customer journey designer that enable more personalized experiences, new personalization features like the contextual email messages that enable you to provide a much more personalized experience throughout the entire journey. We also have an enhanced email designers and many more. And as we look into service, again, omni-channel, we continue to invest into that new experience that enable agents to again see the entire view of the customer. If it's a B2B scenario, the entire view of the account, what happened before the interaction, enable us to be much more proactive in service across any channel. And today we are adding a lot of new channels like Microsoft Teams, Twitter, WhatsApp through Twilio, and many more. We also have new capabilities in field service that we will show you. Again, a lot of amazing stuff that shows the move into data-first, unified experiences for the entire customer journey. So to show all of this in action, let's take a look at one of our customers, HP, and how they are going to use these capabilities. We started with HP a few years ago. They started with support using Dynamics Customer Service to support more than 600 million technical cases. Then they extended into sales, leveraging LinkedIn integration, leveraging our sales capabilities, and the ROI was phenomenal. So now let's see how they are going to use the new features and capabilities we are releasing today. And for that, let me transfer to Ryan, who will demo the HP experience. Ryan?
Thank you, Or. With the April 2020 wave, we're working with HP and a number of customers on the capabilities that are creating new customer experiences and driving impactful business outcomes. So let's jump into the demonstration and see how HP are using Dynamics 365 to support the end-to-end process of a new product introduction, the world's most secure printer. Let's take a look. Organizations like HP who are planning for a new product introduction can utilize advanced forecasting in Dynamics 365 sales to look at forecast trends to anticipate department sales and reallocate the right resources to support product introductions accurately. By enabling predictive forecasting, an AI model that considers data signals and from the current sales pipeline and the historical performance, they can predict opportunity revenue for each seller within the hierarchy. When discussing individual changes with sellers, the Kanban experience enables organizations to quickly and easily move deals between forecast stages, while at the same time seeing the impact of these changes on their forecast. Marketing are now able to begin creating customer journeys for the launch of the new printer line, supporting the customer throughout the entire process. They plan for the product launch campaign using our enhanced customer journey designer. Importantly, the target accounts for this campaign will be the ones created using customer insights. The customer journey will use the automated smart scheduler for send time optimization of personalized emails. This means the target audience will receive the content at the time they're most likely to open it. Using the newly enhanced email designer, multiple versions of the email content with pre-headers are A/B tested for delivering an optimized experience, be that on a customer's desktop or mobile device. In fact, in the latest release, we can now send multiple messages throughout the customer journey as the context changes. Marketing departments using Forms Pro as part of the customer journey can build a better understanding of customer needs and preferences before handing over qualified leads to their sales colleagues. Interested customers are sent invites to special security webcasts about the printer to highlight the printer's leading security capabilities. Clients can enter their preferences as they register on the event website using registration forms built in Dynamics 365 Marketing Form Editor. For those that have attended the event, they have now moved on to becoming marketing qualified leads based upon a lead scoring model. The customer journey has now reached a stage that marketing leads will be passed on to sales, and the sales team will receive proactive notifications, including lead ratings and a complete visibility into the history of interactions. As the inside sales team receives sales-ready leads from marketing, these leads are automatically ranked by AI in terms of success rate, so the seller can trust that they're handling the lead that is most likely to qualify. Acting on the highest ranked lead, we see that the Dynamics 365 Assistant is recommending the most suitable channel to reach out on and the best time. In the case of Alex here, the seller has been recommended to reach out to phone, and in one simple click, our seller can click to dial to record the important details of the conversation. This configurable experience is based on sales cadences that sales managers can design for organization sales processes. Looking at the example of Danica here, the most suitable contact method is via email instead of the phone, which we just saw. In that case, our inside seller can again take a simple one-click action to launch an email to the lead based upon an email template that is most appropriate for the customer's history and move on to the next important potential customer. Having completed the sales process and the installation of the new printers at the customer's location, one of the recently installed printers begins sending IoT alerts through Connected Field Service. The service manager leverages the new IoT suggestion feature to quickly identify which alerts are of high importance. Within the alert, the service manager can see the exact customer asset from which this alert was generated, including any new IoT alerts, cases, or work orders associated with this asset. In this example, the incoming alert is that the device is running low on toner and could have a potential issue. In order to provide proactive maintenance, the service manager will create a work order to dispatch the technician. We're showing this manually, but of course this could be fully automated. The dispatcher uses the next generation schedule board to assign the work order to a technician ensuring the right technician with the right equipment is sent to the customer's location at the customer's preferred date and time. As the technician arrives on site, they start the assignment by using the brand new inspection feature capability to capture key information in an intuitive manner based on the service task they need to complete. The technician can easily capture time and costs from the approved time entries, and these new capabilities enable an organization to drive more accurate accounting practices and profit-loss calculations while delivering services to customers. All the data throughout this process is captured, enabling the service manager to gain perspective on their scheduling efficiency through the new resource scheduling dashboard. Fast forwarding a few weeks, let's look at how our customer Danica can receive support from HP via a channel of her choosing. Danica wants to adjust the resolution of the printer, but is unable to find the answer, so she engages with the HP virtual agent. The same virtual agent that is powering the 600 million support conversations that are ongoing on a yearly basis. The virtual agent asks permission to use IoT to perform an analysis of the printer and recognizes a low priority issue, being that the tape on the protective cartridge is not fully removed. The virtual agent is fully capable of providing a knowledge base to solve this. However, the virtual agent recognizes an opportunity for Danica because it's utilizing Microsoft's customer data platform. The agent detects a potential subscription and is going to escalate the chat to a human agent at this moment. As the customer service representative is working, they receive a desktop notification of the incoming escalation. Our customer service representative can support many customers at one time and has multiple sessions currently ongoing from different support channels, including WhatsApp, Twitter, WeChat, and Line. As the agent replies to Danica, they are fully guided by a step-by-step process of how to best support the customer. Agent guidance is providing a next best action. Their resolution times are far higher when support agents use capabilities to make the experience more personable, such as using co-browse, video, or chat. As the agent prepares themselves for the conversation, they gather all the details necessary from the recommended knowledge base article. They're going into the conversation with the right information to relay to the customer. The customer agrees to have a call with our agent. And without changing any context, this conversation, which is chat-based, is now elevated to either video or voice call, depending on the customer's preferences. From a customer's perspective, they simply receive an incoming notification within the ongoing experience and accept to call. The customer accepts the incoming video request, and the two begin to have a rich dialogue about all that has been discussed so far. They solve the printer resolution question, they assist in the removal of the protective cartridge tape, and explain all the benefits of the Instant Ink program. Due to the proactive nature of support and the ability to save money, Danica agrees to sign up for the Instant Ink subscription service, and our customer service representative can instantly create a case to support the onboarding process of this new subscription service for Danica. So with all of that being said, we've looked at the new experiences in marketing, sales, service, and we've seen how we created a great customer experience for Danica in this process. Thank you for your time, and back to you, Oren.
Thank you, Ryan. That was a great demonstration of a B2B scenarios that really shows how we are leading the market in a data-first environment. We are breaking the silos between marketing, sales, service, field service to provide the best experience, blending digital experiences as email and virtual agents with agent-based experiences, so the customer, the buyer, receive one experience across the customer journey. And now let me hand off to Muhammad, who will talk about commerce. Thank you.
Thank you, Oren. In this section, what we're going to look at is one final aspect of how we're helping our customers transform customer engagement, and that's through the lens of our omni-channel commerce offering. We're also going to look at how our operations solutions help enable this transformation on the commerce side particularly, but customer engagement in broad terms. Customer engagement transformations and operations transformations are really two sides of the same coin. It's super hard to do one effectively without the other. Organizations really need to focus on moving their supply chains from being inflexible, product, internal focus to now what's generally expected of being agile, flexible, and customer-centric supply chains. And that's what our solutions help our customers achieve. Before we get into the demo, let's take a quick look at what's coming in April 2020 Wave 1, beginning with our commerce offering. We made our commerce offering generally available on February 1, and with that, we brought in e-commerce as part of our Dynamics 365 commerce offering. And in bringing e-commerce, we leveraged the same tech that we use internally at Microsoft to power our billions and billions dollars worth of B2C business online and through our app stores on Xbox and Windows. And we've not just brought in e-commerce, we've brought in e-commerce that's differentiated and infused with AI throughout, all the way from as you're building the sites, you can get accessibility insights to make sure your sites are truly accessible. As your consumers are using it, they can get AI-powered product recommendations. And the ratings and reviews that users put in are auto-moderated by AI as well as part of the solution. The second big area of investment for us is adding 2 additional capabilities to our fraud protection offering. In October, we launched payment protection, and now what we have in public preview is account protection, as well as loss prevention, which brings loss prevention in a physical environment also as part of our fraud protection offering, making that truly omni-channel. And you can obviously use a fraud protection offering seamlessly integrated with Dynamics 365 Commerce, or you can also leverage it regardless of whatever e-commerce and in-store solutions you have. And with this offering, we truly believe we have something that's highly differentiated in the market, built upon a consortia of data that we have uniquely at Microsoft that allows our customers to really increase their top line by reducing false rejections, as well as reducing their fraud protection related costs as well. So helping our organizations both on the top line and the bottom line. And finally, amongst a lot of other investments in our in-store capabilities, which is now in use with thousands and thousands of customers globally, we are excited to highlight our clienteling capability, which brings the goodness of what you saw earlier with Satish, with customer insights into an embedded experience with our point of sale applications, allowing our in-store associates of our customers to really provide a highly personalized service to their customers, fed by the profile and the insights coming from customer insights, as well as the AI-powered recommendations. So to look at some of this innovation through the lens of our customers, we're going to walk through how Doc Martens is using our solutions. And Doc Marten is a very well-known global brand based in the UK, more than 7 years old, but it's a special time for them today in April, because on April 1st 60 years ago is when they launched their iconic 1460 brand. So they actually are celebrating the 60th year anniversary for that brand as well. So we're going to look at how Doc Martens is leveraging our Dynamics 365 Commerce solutions, not just to transform their B2C business on how they're connecting and selling to their customers, but they are also using our Dynamics 365 solutions to power and transform their operations with supply chain management and finance. And to see the solution, I'm going to pass it over to Lydia, who's going to walk you through how Doc Martens is using the solution. Lydia?
Thanks very much, Mohammed. Doc Martens is an iconic British footwear brand, loved the world over for its signature style that unapologetically represents freedom, self-expression, and authenticity. Founded in 1960, Doc Martens has over 100 stores globally, with ambitious plans for retail and e-commerce growth. Previously, to manage an omni-channel retail offering of this size required a multitude of disparate systems. Today, we're going to explore how, by using Dynamics 365 Commerce, Doc Martens would be able to seamlessly light up their end-to-end omni-channel retail offering. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the Dynamics 365 e-commerce experience would look like. Using configurable and extensible out-of-the-box modules in the Dynamics 365 Commerce site builder, Doc Martens is able to create rich, immersive storefronts for their customers. Let's go through a typical purchasing journey. Today, I'm looking to purchase some of Doc Martens' iconic 1460 boots. Using Dynamics 365 Commerce, Doc Martens is able to significantly improve product discoverability. The solution presents me with targeted personalized lists, using the same algorithmic and ML-based intelligent product recommendations that we use on Microsoft.com, Microsoft Stores, and Xbox.com. In future releases, Microsoft plans to work with Bing to provide consumers like me with even better experiences, like natural language search and personalized results. Dynamics 365 Commerce also utilizes cloud-powered search capabilities for performance and scale by leveraging Azure Search. Product recommendations can be presented both online and to sales assistants in store, making it far easier for Doc Martens to present me with products that I will genuinely be interested in. The addition of this AI is one of the key enhancements to our solution as part of the April release. Doc Martens is able to include marketing content directly within the dynamic product page. So what impact does this actually have? Extensive testing on Microsoft.com suggests this provides a 9% conversion uplift. Below the product details, I can also see ratings and reviews. Dynamics 365 Commerce automatically sanitizes product reviews using Azure Cognitive Services, ensuring I'm only presented with reviews that use clean language. This helps consumers like myself feel reassured by the quality of reviews provided. When I'm placing an order, I'm able to choose from multiple fulfillment options. If I'm choosing home delivery, distributed order management ensures it's delivered to me as quickly and inexpensively as possible. If I prefer in-store collection, I can check store availability and quickly find the closest store using Bing Maps Store Locator, giving me great flexibility during checkout. When it comes to paying, I'm offered a variety of payment options, including using loyalty points, rewards, and gift cards. I can also pay using out-of-the-box Adyen payment connector. Here we can see how easy it is for me to spend $10 from my loyalty points and put the rest of the balance on my credit card. Furthermore, Doc Martens can protect themselves from fraud and maximize their revenue by increasing successful customer payment approvals using Dynamics 365 Fraud Protection. The integration between Dynamics 365 Commerce and Fraud Protection provides Doc Martens with an increased layer of protection. Over the past 5 minutes, we've seen the experience I could have as a consumer when interacting with Doc Martens. If I choose to pick up my items in store, what's the experience like for the sales associates who I interact with? Let's swap hats and take a look at the point of sale experience for our sales assistants. Here on screen, we can see point of sale. As a sales associate, I can use point of sale for a large portion of my daily activities. Firstly, to ring through transactions, but also to view reports, manage inventory, perform shift and draw operations, and provide intelligent recommendations to cross-sell and upsell. One of the great new features in our April release is the introduction of task management. Tasks can be allocated to stores, groups of stores, or individual workers. And this new function also gives both HQ and store managers a clear understanding of the current state of stores, as well as the performance of individual workers. Earlier in this broadcast, Satish showed us Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. As part of the release of Dynamics 365 Commerce, we've included out-of-the-box integration with Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. This enables sales associates to provide premium clienteling experiences. Sales associates are automatically presented with insights from Dynamics 365 Customer Insights directly within the point of sale solution. They're able to instantly highlight potential opportunities to increase customer lifetime value, as well as adjust orders in response to customer preferences, and crucially identify customers at risk of churn and potential discounts to encourage repeat business from them. Unlocking customer insights gives sales associates the tools to give every customer a highly personalized experience. Furthermore, the point of sale's order fulfillment capabilities enable buy online, pick up in store, or click and collect, where store associates can fulfill orders received online or from other channels. When the customer arrives in store, I simply select orders to pick up and can easily process the sale. Today, we've seen how Doc Martens is able to transform the way they interact with customers across all sales channels, utilizing one solution to manage their entire omni-channel retail offering, enabling them to deliver a consistent and compelling experience to customers, ultimately driving greater revenue, all made possible using one solution, and that's Dynamics 365 Commerce. And with that, I'll hand back to Mohammed. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Lydia. One of the things we're doing, particularly in today's environment, is helping our customers stand up e-commerce sites very quickly so they can continue to reach out to their customers and fulfill their needs through the digital commerce channel. And one of the things we're going to be announcing very shortly is a program called E-commerce in a Day, where we can help and we will help our customers at scale in building a fully branded site, essentially in a day that they can use to go live and reach out to their customers in a super efficient and a super quick basis. So look for more details to come on that offering here shortly. So let's shift gears and talk about the investments that are coming in our operations application as part of Wave 1 2020. Now, we won't have the time to go through all the investments or even the key investments, but in all the apps that we have in our operations portfolio. So we're going to narrow that down to just highlighting a few capabilities, but certainly I highly encourage everybody to go look at the release notes document that has all the details in a lot of detail that outlines all the investments that we've made. To highlight some of the investments, let's start with our supply chain management application that allows our organization to really start from product information management to planning to trade, manufacturing, and then finally asset management as well. And one of the investments that we're excited about that's coming as part of Wave 1 is bringing Dynamics 365 Guides, which is available certainly as a standalone application, seamlessly integrated with asset management in supply chain management. And that's a scenario that we're going to look at here later today as part of the demo. We're also very excited about our Finance Insight offerings that really brings both AI and automation packaged up for the users of our Dynamics 365 finance applications, where you can get things such as payment prediction for when your AR is going to come back, as well as cash flow prediction, as well as a bunch of automation capabilities that are kind of packaged up. So we're excited about Finance Insights. And then finally, I want to just kind of remind everybody of our Dynamics 365 Human Resources application that we both rebranded and made generally available on February 1st, signaling really our significant amount of investments we're making in ensuring we can provide HR professionals of our organizations a complete, highly immersive application that they can use to run their HR operations. So to look at the investments that we made in bringing Guides together with supply chain management, we're going to look at that through the lens of one of our customers, Eaton. Eaton, which hopefully everybody knows, is a $21 billion plus organization that is in the business of providing power management technology to their customers. And as part of that, they've embarked on their own Industry 4.0 transformation journey, and mixed reality is a core part of that transformation for them. And after evaluating multiple solutions, they've selected Dynamics 365 Guides and Dynamics 365 Remote Assist to really power a bunch of their locations globally for scenarios such as asset management, layout planning, training, product development, and then connecting knowledge from their global team of experts around the world as well. So to look at how Eaton is leveraging our solutions, particularly Dynamics 365 Guides, to run their operations, I'm going to pass this over to Kevin and Darren, who's going to walk you through that solution. Kevin?
Thanks, Mohammed. Eaton's mission is to improve the quality of life and the environment through the use of power technologies and services. They're providing sustainable solutions that help their customers efficiently manage electrical, mechanical, and hydraulic power. And they're doing this on a global scale across 175 countries. Now, at each of their customer sites, their own facilities, and indeed across a broad range of their own products, IoT is pivotal. From IoT telemetry through Dynamics 365 supply chain management, we can help simplify some of the business processes. For instance, from an IoT signal, we can associate it to a business process for scenarios like production delays or equipment downtime. Then we can combine the IoT telemetry with transactional data to start to deliver overall equipment efficiency insights. And those insights we can show through an embedded Power BI dashboard within supply chain management. And from the dashboard, I can then start to focus in on a particular plant, and in this case, a particular heating system, and it will start to give me back an insight. And in my case, for the heating system, it's highlighting that my flow rate has been degraded. And often for water-based heating systems, filters can be a challenge. And so we know we can go and switch out a filter. In a moment, I'll organize a maintenance technician to do so. But before we do, I just want to highlight how master planning has evolved. Master planning has evolved into a new planning service, where historically it would have been a process that we would run overnight. Now it is a planning service that provides near real-time results for both production and distribution requirements. And in my case, I want to use the supply schedule to look at the output and focus on a particular filter to ensure that I have sufficient stock holding for our maintenance technicians. And so I'm just confirming that I've got the right filter, and then from the filter I'm just checking to ensure that I have a good stock holding for the next few days, which I clearly do. This means I can go ahead and create a work order. Now I've raised a work order already within our new asset management capability. And asset management can help companies like Eaton's proactively manage the maintenance and the efficiency of key equipment and their facilities. And from April, it's also going to utilize the new dual rights capability with field service, which means I can utilize the field services scheduling board to manage our maintenance technicians. And thankfully, the scheduling board has a host of criteria, which means I can ensure that whatever maintenance technician is allocated is local and therefore avoiding any form of risk or travel. And the maintenance technician, once allocated, will receive a notification on their mobile device. And dual rights will be then used to update the work order inside asset management. And we can see my asset management's work order at the bottom here for the filter replacement. And we can see also that a technician, Darren, has been allocated already. Now, Darren, we're actually going to go and join in a moment, and he's going to show us how to change a filter on a closed-loop heating system. And he's going to show us how to do this through the new Dynamics 365 Guides experience. So, Darren, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. You know, we're running the smallest crews possible right now, and so I got assigned to do maintenance on a system I've never worked on before. So I was happy to find the guide here at the top of the list. I got into the flow of work right away, locked down the system. Now, the old diagrams we used to take a while to interpret. They might tell you to use the lever on the left side, but depending on what direction I'm facing, is it left or right? With guides, there's no question because every action can spatially show you the exact right move. The instruction card moves with me wherever I'm working. You can see it even come down to my level while I'm crouching. Also working with my hands with gloves on, so it's really awesome that I just need to look at the buttons to activate them. This filter change can actually be a bit dangerous because there's a risk of exposure to hot water and chemicals. So getting the instructions on how to do the procedure safely while also being able to concentrate on my physical actions is really, really valuable. On this next step, I decided to first check the seal with my finger before replacing the housing. This wasn't in the guide, but I know it's an important step to do when working on a fixture like this. You pick this kind of workplace wisdom up when you've worked as a technician for many years. Now that I'm done the procedure, I'm going to add my workplace wisdom to a copy of the guide, so hopefully the other people who do the job with less experience don't miss this trick. The guide's authoring tool makes it easy to add my knowledge and suggest a change to the process. For someone like me who's not very tech savvy, it's very easy to type up the new step on my laptop and add some 3D objects that are included with the app. When I'm done that, I use the HoloLens to place all the holograms in space, and I can literally show every person who's going to do this task in the future how to make this check. The HoloLens placement is very intuitive. I could just reach out and grab the assets and grab the little handles and make the adjustments I needed. I'd have to ramp up a lot to do this in a regular 3D modeling program. It's very complicated. Pretty quickly, I've communicated what I need, and then I just apply styles to the objects. I use the point of interest to show the operator where the work is taking place. Then I save a copy. Then I quickly mark the work order complete and make a note to my process engineer to approve the upgrade to the guide. Okay, that's it, Kevin. We're all wrapped up here in the heating room.
Thanks, Darren. Now, we saw Darren close off his work order and share his updates before moving on to his next job. Everything we've shared helps drive actionable insights for companies like Eaton's, who can be using predictive insights and intelligence. From AI and IoT, we could help empower them to deliver against their mission of improving the quality of life and the environment on a global scale. Thank you. Back to Mohammed.
Thank you, Kevin. And again, a great example of a data-first solution that's really fundamentally transforming how people run their operations from being reactive to now proactive, with the signal coming from an equipment on a shop floor that is allowing somebody to do predictive maintenance, again, in a heads-up, hands-free way, in a highly immersive way, and doing that job correctly the first time without the organization needing to spend a lot of money and a lot of time in training all of their technicians on all of the scenarios that could happen, if you will. So like I said, we're not going to go look at all the capabilities in operations. Hopefully the quick spin through that we looked at was valuable. I highly encourage everybody to go look at the release notes documents that provides all the details. And with that, this wraps up our section in looking at the investments and the innovation coming in our Dynamics 365 applications as part of Wave 1 2020. And now we're going to shift into looking at the investments coming in the platform that really powers all of this, which is our Power Platform, with Charles Lamanna. Charles?
Thank you, Mohammed. For this next section, we're going to be walking through the 2020 Wave 1 release updates for the Power Platform. When we talk about the Power Platform, it's the single low-code development platform for all of Microsoft across Office 365, Dynamics 365, Azure, and your standalone business applications. Power BI provides a low-code way to understand and analyze your data. Power Apps makes it incredibly easy to build web and mobile applications. Power Automate makes it straightforward to use robotic process automation and create workflows. And lastly, Power Virtual Agent, the most recent addition to the Power Platform, provides a low-code way to create chatbots. Altogether, there's a lot of great innovation in this release with hundreds of new features. We're going to highlight some of the biggest ones over the next 25 minutes. For Power Apps, we just announced the brand new mixed reality capabilities inside of the Power Apps mobile player. This makes it possible to bring in 3D assets and visualize them in the real world, as well as to do geospatial awareness and understanding. We also announced the ability to embed Power Apps inside of Teams with a new responsive template so it can work on web and mobile devices in any type of screen resolution, making it easier than ever to collaborate around your application experiences. Additionally, we've shipped for the first time a single mobile player for Power Apps that works for both Canvas applications and model-driven applications. And it also supports mobile offline capabilities that you know and love from Dynamics 365 right inside of standalone Power Apps applications. And as a bonus fourth feature, we're also happy to announce a broad set of new debugging and diagnostic tools to allow you to understand network traffic as well as to record tests so you can have the highest quality possible releases on top of Power Apps. In addition to these Power Apps features, you have a whole bunch of great capabilities for Power Virtual Agent. For the first time, you can go have an entirely visual experience to author bots. And this is the same drag and drop ad steps that you're used to from the Power Platform. Power Virtual Agent also has dozens of different channels, so you can connect to Teams, Skype to talk to your employees, or to your customers through your website embedding or WhatsApp and a bunch of other consumer channel options. And lastly, just like everything else in the Power Platform, Power Virtual Agent comes with rich, no-cliff extensibility, so you can use Azure Bots Framework to create your own skills, as well as to call out to Power Automate in over 300 data connectors, so your chatbots can't just help answer questions, but can also take actions in response to customer requests. In the case of Power Automate, perhaps some of the biggest and most important of all the updates we're going to announce for the Power Platform today is the new robotic process automation capabilities. It's now possible to record mouse clicks and keyboard inputs as something called the UI flow, and those same UI flows can be used right inside of the visual Power Automate designer. Additionally, it's possible to go debug and understand exactly what went wrong when it comes to your Power Automate RPA implementations by having GIFs and videos whenever there's an error, as well as screen caps captured as part of the authoring experience. And altogether, this provides a single low-code way to automate any business process. You can use AI to understand analog, unstructured data like digital paper or text. You can go use the API connectors that have been around for a couple of years to connect to more modern SaaS applications as well as databases. And lastly, you can go use the brand new robotic process automation capabilities to automate across all those UI offerings. And one of the most important parts of Power Automate is that it's democratized. It's available to everybody. And this is not just about being a low-code, rapid application development environment, but also a very affordable licensing model. It's actually possible now to go and get all the employees in a department a Power Automate per user license, and that will allow them to go build unlimited bots. Additionally, you can go purchase bots one by one, making it affordable to scale up consumption where it makes sense. And this low-code environment plus affordable licensing brings RPA to a broader audience than ever before. And when we look across all these new capabilities, one of my favorite ways to show it is through a demo. So for this next section, we're going to look at GSK, who uses zero accident promotion application and business process to go reduce the risks of hazards and other issues that may occur in the workplace. And GSK has done this by using Power Apps at its core and a bunch of other parts of the Power Platform in action. To see it in motion, let's go to the mobile app first. Now, looking at this Power App, this was authored by GSK to go have field agents out in the operations to report potential risky items or issues in their facilities. And this is part of that zero accident promotion or ZAP process. And I can see that I can go look up active ZAPs that are in my area. And this is actually using geolocation information, GPS, and supports an interactive map. So I can easily go explore what are all the potential hazards near where I'm working and go report new ones over time. And this map control is one of those brand new announcements in the Wave 1 release. In this case, if I want to go drill into one of the ZAPs in particular, I can see that there's all the different information about what the potential risk is. In this case, it's a slippery area in the hallway, which is a fall hazard. I can report this as an issue. And what's great is I can go have a highly interactive consumer-grade experience to go compute the risk of this issue, allowing them to codify the potential problems. Additionally, there's a policy in GSK of if you see something, do something. So if there is a potential risk, you're supposed to go take an action on top of it. And this action is supposed to prevent a potential hazard for someone in the future. And if we look here, I can see there's a text box where I could maybe record via voice to text or anything like that to go record the action that I've taken. But one of the brand new capabilities we've announced for the April release is the new MR capability. So what this allows me to do is use my phone camera and I can go drop on in real space what the mitigation is I want to take. So if I say, go drop a cone right here, I can see that it's now pinned in space. And this allows me to go visualize what my mitigation would do, as well as to go track what would happen over time. And this makes it very easy to have advanced understanding of the problem that my users are facing. And the best way to go understand how this was created is to go look at how I actually built this application inside of Power Apps. So I've now switched over to Power Apps Studio, and we can see in this experience, it's just like PowerPoint and Excel combined, very easy, very straightforward. And the same app that I was just viewing on my iPhone is also visible right here in the browser. So I can easily build cross-platform applications. And what's great is if I click through, say, edit a draft ZAP, just like I did on my phone, we can see that map control is missing. And this is where I just want to go add that new capability, which is that new map control. And what's great is these map controls aren't static. They can interact with all the same data you're used to inside of Power Apps. So in that case, I just bound it to all the active ZAPs as a data source. And just like that, a refresh in real time showing me all the data points that have a ZAP issue recorded right now. And down here, I have the same list of the active ZAPs that I saw on my phone. And when I go take the action, if I want to go drop on that MR component, I don't need to be a sophisticated MR programmer who knows Unity or 3D programming. There's just an out-of-the-box control inside of Power Apps called View and AR. And what this allows me to do is I can just drop this right on top of this form. And now, whenever people are taking an action to go respond to an issue, they can go see it in 3D space and understand what their mitigation would look like. And all of these new capabilities are just integrated with all the stuff you already know and love inside of the Power Apps Studio. However, GSK, like a lot of our customers, isn't able to go transform all parts of their business at once. There are still elements that use pen and paper because not everybody has a mobile device. And the way it works is people actually fill out a form much like this, which is a mixture of printed tables in addition to handwriting. And one of the challenges is, how do I go capture this type of zero accident promotion or ZAP data in a digital way, in a structured way, much like I do for my Power App? And that's where AI Builder comes in. So AI Builder, forms processing, which is going GA with the Wave 1 release in 2020, supports understanding handwriting as well as text-based forms. And one of the best ways to see this is to do one of these quick tests for my local device. So if I drop up a form real quick, what will happen is this goes through a pre-trained model that I programmed by example, by something called machine teaching, without having to use any data science or running any Python. And we can see that even though this form is multiple pages, it's understanding that this is a table with a particular schema and capturing all of that data. And this is really transformational because so much of business is still in this unstructured content. You can now get access to it in a structured, business process oriented way using AI Builder. And the way I would go use something like this AI Builder model, is inside of Power Automate. So in this case, I have an email trigger. So when a new scanned ZAP document arrives over email, I will go look at each attachment using AI Builder. And this is using that same model that I was just testing for you guys. And you can see that it's actually extracting all the relevant information and inserting it inside the SQL database. So this is the Power Automate Visual Workflow Designer. AI Builder is just very naturally, natively integrated to make it very easy to bridge the unstructured and structured world using the Power Platform. And this is really only the beginning of it, because what GSK also wanted to do was, if an item was particularly risky, if it had more than a risk score of 8, they wanted to go record it in a legacy Win32 application that they have. And the problem with this is that this application doesn't have APIs. It wouldn't have APIs. It would require UI automation. And for that, you want to go use the brand new UI flows or robotic process automation capabilities in Power Automate. So in this case, I'm inside the Power Automate experience. I launched this recorder. And what I have to do is just, if I click record, I can just simulate what someone would normally do when using this application. And all of these steps, like, say, going file new item, say capturing the description of the incident, putting it inside of this form. And as you can see, this form is not a more modern experience, but it's very easy for me to go drop on all these different fields and have it be parameterized to be used in normal automation. So I'll just stop there after 2 steps because I think we get the point. And if I go back to the browser, we can see my Power Automate UI flow has been updated. It's now capturing all the steps that I just did. You can see I clicked file. You can see I clicked new. We can see that I put text in this text box from the incident parameter. And all of this is captured using 3 different types of rules in AI to make sure we're always choosing exactly the right control on the form across Windows updates as well as application updates. And the way I would use this UI flow is right inside of that Power Automate experience. So we can see trigger from SQL. Whenever a ZAP is created with a score greater than 8, I would want to go run this UI flow. And all the parameters from SQL are flowing into that UI flow. And what's amazing about this, if I just do a quick test, is that this can run unattended. So all of my unattended automations are running on a server farm in the cloud. And what this is doing is it's actually going to go fire up the GSK application, and it's going to run it automatically and provide all those same inputs. And what's great about that is it makes it easy for me to go automate across lots of different UI automations. Yeah, there we go. And we can see that it's running right now, and it's entering all the different file new incident to report, as well as capturing the outputs from the SQL database. So all of this is seamlessly tied together, whether it's AI, APIs, or UI, you can automate across all 3 using the new RPA capabilities in Power Automate. Now, there's 2 more things I want to quickly show. The first is, if we look at this Teams channel right here, I want to go create a chat bot on top of all of those apps, because not everyone wants to go use an app and maybe they want a conversational experience. So I can walk up to this Zap bot I've created inside of Microsoft Teams and basically issue questions and commands. In this case, I want to manage my tasks. And these are the tasks that are the same backend using Power Apps and Power Automate. And I can actually go look up Zap number 120, and this will be extracted and will allow me to take actions right inside of Teams. So I can have an entirely conversational experience. And the way you build this is inside a Power Virtual Agent. And just like everything else in the Power Platform, you don't have to worry about being a coder or a programmer. You can do it visually. And of course, If you do want to go drop into code, that also is an option with Azure Bot Framework and all the Azure integration. And we can see that a fairly sophisticated chat bot is running here, and I can actually understand what it's doing with this tracing capability, and it makes it very easy to go build these different chat-based experiences. And last but not least, of course, is Power BI. So at the end of the day, I want to gather all this information about Zaps. I can now start to do reporting to understand what's generating hazards. So I can look at tier 1 resolved, I can look at tier 2 resolved, and actually understand what's driving all my different causes of these potential risks and potential accidents. I can even take action using an embedded Power App inside of the single Power BI experience. And this is a great example of how the Power Platform ties everything together. It's one low-code platform that makes it possible to analyze your data with Power BI, automate it with Power Automate and Power Virtual Agent, and act on it with Power Apps. And it's integrated seamlessly with the broader Microsoft Cloud, but of course has connectors to all kinds of applications outside of it. For the last thing I wanted to cover during my section, I wanted to talk about the COVID-19 response efforts associated with Power Apps and Power Automate. We've released 2 different application templates, the Crisis Communication app, as well as the Emergency Response Solution, to help our customers manage through this crisis. The Crisis Communication app was built in just a week or two and has been used by over 3,000 customers in over 40 countries to go better engage their employees and help manage their relationships during this crisis. Additionally, the Emergency Solution makes it possible to go manage inventory and assets in a hospital setting. These applications and more are available on our community website if you're interested. I recommend checking them out if you think they could be useful to you today. For this last section, I'm going to turn it over to Arun, who's going to go much deeper in the Power BI capabilities.
Thanks, Charles. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited to talk to you about Power BI, where we're at, what we've shipped in 2020 Wave 1, and where we're going. I wanted to start off with what we're trying to accomplish. Since we got started 5 years ago, we've been just talking about one thing, about how we help our customers drive a data culture. That means everyone can make better decisions based on data. This extends to employees within your organization. It extends to your customers and your partners, as well as citizens of the city, state, or country. To help you drive a data culture, we're investing in 3 areas. The first is simply amazing data visualization experiences. This is the heart of Power BI, the ability to be able to take data and build compelling and beautiful reports and dashboards. To make this possible, we're investing in 2 areas. First is we're making Power BI really simple to use by copying many of the capabilities that you already have in Office. So we're trying to make sure that Power BI is instantly familiar to over 1 billion users of Office worldwide. And second, we're taking a lot of the capabilities that we have in Microsoft, where we're making fundamental investments in artificial intelligence and bringing those capabilities to Power BI, but building experiences that are very, very simple for business users. In this semester, we shipped a lot of new capabilities for our core visualization experiences. From an artificial intelligence perspective, we shipped our new decomposition tree, which is a highly requested feature from our customers. It takes any metric and allows you to decompose it into different dimensions and allows Power BI using some AI algorithms to automatically find a path. Second, we made some major investments to our Q&A experiences so that business users can simply ask questions in English and get the answers that they're looking for. We shipped a brand new tooling experience. We shipped synonyms that are based on Office and Bing. And then we're going to add capability to support direct query, as well as the ability to be able to support Power BI shared and certified data sets. Third, we are bringing visual personalization for end users. This means that we are helping every end user make decisions about how they want to see a specific visual. They can swap out dimensions, they can change the axis, and do so much more. Power BI remembers the personalized setting for each user, and then it still retains the connection to the native report. So even as the report changes, the user continues to have their own personalized point of view. And lastly, we've added major new capability that really makes Power BI resemble PowerPoint. So we're really thinking about Power BI as PowerPoint for data. We shipped the new ribbon experience, which is the exact same ribbon that we ship in Office. We've also added capabilities around theming, which behave exactly like PowerPoint. The second area we're investing in is to help meet the most demanding requirements of our enterprise BI users. And this is really exciting for us because if you look at the growth of Power BI, well, overall usage more than doubled over the last year. The fastest area of growth was the growth of Power BI among large enterprise deployments, which grew around 500%. So we're bringing a lot of capabilities that help Power BI customers manage, deploy, and govern Power BI at scale. So these are large capabilities like large semantic models, capabilities like administration and governance, as well as real-time analytics, and so much more. In this semester, we added a lot of new capabilities that our enterprise customers are really excited about. This semester, we added some major new capabilities for enterprise BI customers. The first is full application lifecycle management. So we're introducing deployment pipelines in Power BI, which enable enterprise BI customers to be able to take a BI project from dev to test to production, all just completely built into Power BI. The second major capability is shared and certified datasets, which help customers build a single source of truth in Power BI and share that across many reports and dashboards. The third is we've made Power BI completely open by adding support for the open XMLA protocol for our shared and certified datasets. So this means that customers can not only build reports in Power BI against their single source of truth, but they can also use the same datasets to power experiences in Excel, as well as connect to these datasets from any modern BI tool that supports the XMLA protocol. And lastly, because customers bring tons of data to Power BI, for example, they bring up over 40 petabytes of data to Power BI every single month, we've made it easy for customers to be able to understand where the data comes from and where it goes to through full support for lineage and impact analysis. The third, and perhaps the most strategic area we're investing in, is to weave BI deep into the fabric of the organization. It starts with trust. What we're adding to Power BI is core data protection capabilities. We're making Power BI completely open at every tier, and we're adding the compliance requirements that customers really care for. This makes it easy for enterprise customers to standardize on Power BI as their core BI platform. A lot of our customers deploy not just Power BI, but they also deploy Azure Synapse Analytics, which is the next generation of Azure SQL Data Warehouse. We're doing a lot of innovation with the Azure Synapse Analytics team to light up new capabilities to reduce time to market and as well as to reduce TCO. Customers need to be able to move from insight to action and to automation. We're doing a lot of work across the Power Platform, as Charles called out, to make this easy for customers, so customers can easily act on their insights. And lastly, we want to make it easy for customers to not only get the insights in Power BI, but to infuse these insights all throughout their Office experiences. In this semester, we added some exciting new capabilities here as well. For trust, we added data protection. So Power BI is the only BI product in the market that fully integrates with Microsoft Information Protection as well as Microsoft Cloud App Security. This allows customers to be able to secure data even when it leaves Power BI into Excel, PowerPoint, or PDF. The second capability we invested in is in adding Power BI to Synapse. So Power BI is now natively built into Synapse Studio, so customers can not only ingest data in Synapse, they can bring it to the data warehouse, but they can build their semantic models and they can build their reports entirely within Synapse Studio. The third area we're investing in is to actually enable Power BI to work with the Power Platform. We already added support for Power Apps as a core visual in Power BI. In the next couple of months, we'll be bringing the same treatment to Power Automate. So you'll be able to kick off business application workflows directly from within your Power BI experience. And lastly, we completely redid our experience in Teams with a brand new set of capabilities that fully supports the new application constructs in Power BI, supports both interactive reports as well as paginated reports, and so much more. To show you some of these exciting new capabilities, I'm going to talk to you about the work we're doing with ABB. ABB is one of the largest companies in the world with over 150,000 employees. They're headquartered in Switzerland, and they're a worldwide leader in robotics, heavy electrical equipment, as well as industrial automation. We've been working with ABB to help them drive a data culture in the organization with Power BI, where they use Power BI to manage revenue, to manage their forecast, and help manage attrition with their workforce. So let me show you how ABB uses Power BI. We start with the beautiful Power BI home experience, which also includes the corporate ABB branding and styling. I have everything front and center where I need it, which makes navigation really easy, and I can instantly find exactly the reports that I'm looking for. To start with, I'm going to start by looking at my revenue report. This helps me understand my overall revenue and gross profit performance against my goal. I can see the revenue by service delivery segment, who's ahead of plan, who's behind. I can also quickly toggle between revenue and gross margin, and I can understand their performance over time. I can also drill down into each segment, and because Power BI is highly interactive, it instantly updates everything else that's in the report for that segment. In this wave, we shipped a brand new Q&A experience. So the business user who's looking for something that's not immediately shown in this report can simply ask the question in English, and Power BI answers it. Let me show you a few examples. So I'm going to go ahead and look at revenue by manager, which is not on this report. And when I do that, Power BI visualizes the revenue by manager as a bar chart. But now I can click into each manager, for example, Tobias or Muge or anybody else for that matter. And then Power BI shows me how that particular manager did against their budget and how their performance trended over time. Makes it super easy for me to understand exactly what's going on in my business. So let's move from the overall revenue view into the forecast. Here you can see how easy Power BI makes it to understand exactly what is expected to happen. By clicking on the arrow on the right-hand side, I can easily explore my forecast. I can simply ask Power BI using the new decomposition tree visual that we just shipped to discover the high value, and it shows me the offshore segment has the most deals. And sure enough, when I look further, they have a lot of opportunities over $500,000 and $1 million. However, when I move from opportunities to look at my backlog, I see that a lot of the deals are much smaller. In fact, I don't have any deals that are over $500,000. So I really need to focus on converting my large deals from my opportunities to my backlog to make sure that my business stays on track. BI is an inherently collaborative experience. The insights that we share and discuss are much more valuable than the insights that I have just for myself. I'm going to show you how easy Power BI makes it to share and collaborate with teams. Because Power BI is natively integrated with Teams, I can go to my team, ABB Operations, and add the Power BI report that I was just looking at. And just like that, I've brought the Power BI report directly into my Teams experience. I'm going to go to the workforce demographics section of my report. Here I can get a quick overview of my organization. And I want to focus on asking Power BI to analyze what causes employees to leave my company using another AI visual called key influencers. I can also ask Power BI to automatically create segments for me to identify potential issues. So when I do that, you can see here that I potentially have a problem with the first segment. Female part-time employees are almost twice as likely to leave as everyone else. Since I'm in Teams, it's super easy for me to ask my colleague in HR to look at what's going on here. So I'm going to call on Ken and ask him to look at why female part-time employees are having a much higher attrition rate than everyone else. Now I'm going to wrap up the demo by showing you some of the new data protection capabilities that we've added to Power BI. Here I am in the new lineage view for my workspace. I can see where the data comes from, where it goes, and which reports and dashboards it feeds. So let's find the ABB revenue report I was looking at. And when I click on settings, note that the information protection label has been set to highly confidential. This is the same Microsoft information protection label that is used across my organization. Now let's go back to the report and let's see what happens when I try to export the data out to Excel. This is a very common problem. BI tools can secure the data when users are using the BI product, but however, users love to export the data for additional analysis, and that's when the protection drops. So you'll notice that this particular revenue report has been flagged as highly confidential. I'm going to try to export the data out. And when I export the data, Power BI generates an Excel sheet. However, because this report has been flagged as highly confidential, if I've set my corporate policy for all my highly confidential documents to be encrypted, then that Excel sheet will be encrypted as well. So you'll notice that when I've opened up my Excel sheet, all the data is rendered directly from Power BI. However, when I click on View Permissions, you'll notice that the permissions have been set to highly confidential. So if this file was encrypted because of my corporate policy, it means that it's fully secured. And if I accidentally send it to somebody who shouldn't have access, like somebody outside of my organization, or I leave it behind on a USB stick, or I even have a copy at home and I stop being an employee, that file can no longer be opened. Now, this is really compelling for enterprise customers because it allows them to be able to secure the data even when the data leaves the product, which is really important for them because the protection travels with the data. But our protection goes much further. Because Power BI is integrated with Microsoft Cloud App Security, all access to Power BI from users around the world is monitored and analyzed. Cloud App Security looks for anomalies that could indicate security issues. Let me give you one example. You'll notice here that I have an impossible travel error. Let's look into that. You'll see that it's flagged that my user has accessed Power BI from 2 IP addresses, one in Israel and the other in the US, that spread up, and the access is within a 600-minute time window. Clearly, I can't travel 7,000 miles within 600 minutes. So this alerts me to potential security issues that need to be investigated and resolved. So hopefully this gives you some idea of how ABB is using Power BI to drive a data culture within their organization. So before I wrap up, I wanted to spend a minute on how governments and nonprofits around the world are using Power BI to make important data about COVID-19 available to their citizens. We're working closely with USA Facts, which is a nonprofit based in the US that's aggregating COVID-19 data across the US down to the county level. We're providing a toolkit that makes it easy for anyone to be able to analyze the COVID-19 data using Power BI Desktop and be able to share the analysis back with other citizens using Power BI's publish-to-web capabilities. Both Power BI Desktop and Power BI Publish-to-Web are completely free, so anyone can do this analysis and anyone can help everybody else get insights. Thank you and stay safe. I'm going to invite James back on to wrap up.
Thanks so much, Arun. So, that sort of wraps up 90 minutes. I know it's hard to sit in front of a screen for 90 minutes watching a presentation. So thank you if you've done that, for spending the time with us. We're very excited about the capabilities that this wave is sort of bringing across both Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. If you want to get deeper information in sort of a written, documented form of all of what you've seen and even more, you can go to the URL on the screen here to get the release notes in PDF form, both for Dynamics and for the Power Platform. And I also want to make you aware of an event on May 6th that we'll be doing digitally, the Microsoft Business Applications Summit. This is our big annual event where we spend quite a bit of time deep diving into all of the applications, all of the platform capabilities, allowing you to sort of go 1, 2, or 3 click stops beneath what you saw today across the entirety of the product line. So if you've got time for that and interest, that will be coming to you digitally on May 6th. And with that, I just want to thank you again for spending the time with us. And if there's anything that we at Microsoft can do, or particularly any of us in the Dynamics 365 or Power Platform organization, please reach out, particularly in this time of need. We're here to serve you and to keep your business moving forward. Thank you.